But now I would like to say hi to Thomas again and welcome him IRL into the panel. Hi, Thomas.
Hi, nice to be here.
Hi. Good to have you and good to see that your camera's on and we can hear you as well. Good, two good signs that we're going to have a good dialogue here now.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, so with that said, thank you for that presentation. It's a really interesting area and we will come back to that in the panel as well. So I would like now to welcome the panel members here on stage and welcome in the right order. They are here now approaching. Here comes Christine Bjärkby. Please
Hi.
hold there for a second,
Yes.
Christine.
Okay.
I will, as for your information, I will go out of camera because due to the corona situation and due to social distancing, we only have room for 3 people here in the studio. So I will go out of camera and we will have 3 participants here live in the room and we will have Thomas from distance joining in the panel as well. So with that said, I will just move out and you can continue, Axel and Mikael, and coming into in-screen. So,
Yes.
welcome back and welcome for the first time, Christine. Nice
Thank
to
you.
have
Thank
here.
you.
And since we haven't heard anything from you yet, it would be really good if you would like to do just a short introduction.
Okay, very short introduction. I'm working a lot with scale-ups and startups and also to grow this company, also with growth capital. So I'm in the system here in Gothenburg, but also national and international. I'm in the board of European Business Angel Network. So of course I see a lot of new trends also internationally. So there sometimes we have to speed up here in Sweden and we need both talent and capital. So that's what we're looking into. And I know Thomas from before as well. Yeah.
Thanks. And I'm Axel Nordberg, as you presented before, Global Brand Director within Essity for digital enabled solutions for the TENA brand.
And I'm Mikael Jagelid from HiQ, today representing Göteborg company and the hospitality industry.
And Thomas, would you like to say something as well one more time now when you're live?
Yeah, sure. So I'm founding engineer at Enride. Been there from the very beginnings and been building most of the different systems throughout the entire company. So I have kind of deep knowledge inside most of these, and I really tried to stretch our beliefs so far with doing this presentation. So I hope it was informative.
It was excellent, and we are happy to have you here for this panel as well. So just we are trying to cover a little bit of looking ahead, looking into the future, and we'll also have a little bit more of right now perspectives. But just as the first opening, I would say that there are, as we have talked about today, it's a lot of trends right now impacting business models and what we're doing. So what do you believe are the most important trend impacting and contributing to the evolution of these future business models? Axel, what do you say about that?
Thank you. It's a tough question, of course, but I think it's interesting to reflect on it a bit. I mean, one trend that we talked about earlier is the us getting older, and that trend will unfortunately stay the same. Will happen day by day.
I hope that's something else there.
No, in fact, I need to bring the facts, but no, but still, I mean, that will lead to a demographic shift, of course. But I think to your earlier point, it's actually the trend of that comes now with the COVID-19 is accelerating. And according back to what I said earlier, we can see trends for remote healthcare accelerating and becoming even more relevant in this space. So I fully echo earlier observations about the current trends and them accelerating.
And what are your thoughts about that, Mikael? I think you have reflected as well about the.
Yeah, and I think that especially in the hospitality industry, but pretty much in any industry today that is affected by the pandemic, there's a great need to act fast and pretty much adopt the startup way of thinking and learn quick out there, test the product in the market, be agile, be fast moving, because it's such a great opportunity to cause disruption, and it's better to be at the steering wheel than being left behind.
And from your perspective, Christine?
Yeah, I think you're touching upon how to be agile. I think the startups are very agile normally, of course, fast movers, but in the same time, they need to cooperate with both the industry and also together, because if they're building channel platforms, they will not be able to cooperate. So we have to lift the cooperation level in a better way. And also, of course, they need talent and resources to be able to do something about the agility.
Yeah.
So,
And just, building on that, which I fully agree with, I mean, we cannot simply afford working in silos. If we think that there's a paradigm shift, everyone needs to contribute, right? And especially with startups, I mean, a challenge that we face is, where do we find them? And we know that there are special forums, and let's talk later, but there will be special forums. But the thing is, we love them because we would like to, of course, do what we're good at, but we definitely want to find where there are already good ideas out there.
Yeah. And they need you to be able to change behavior in the market, because as a startup, you cannot do that.
And I think when we're talking about this, I mean, the speed of innovation, which are demanding for new collaboration models. In some companies, I would say that we can hear, and I have full respect for that, that innovation is nothing new. We've been doing that for ages. We've also been doing a lot of good collaborations for ages. So, hey, what's new? And if I ask you, how would you describe the new in this that we're talking about, new ways of co-creating collaboration? How would you describe what that is? What's the new in that?
I will have that actually be moderator in another track today, startup track. And there is one person talking about Amazoogle. And that is something that we have to think about. We have to be maybe another level or cooperate in another perspective, because if we're collecting a lot of data, we need also to be able to provide the data. And that is not always the same company who do that. So maybe we need new platforms to be able to use the data in the right way.
And maybe we should pitch in you there, Thomas, as well. I mean, from your perspective, Maya, what do you see as the new demands for new collaborations and co-creation?
So I think one important thing I think about directly is in for example, how we cooperate with different partners in our stack. Because our stack is super complicated and there's a lot of different software parts. And one thing is just having data flow from kind of us using them at our customers all the way back to different tiers across the stack. And those data flows needs to be just direct. Not somebody sending the file or something like that. It needs to be automatic and it needs to be set up from the get-go. And I think the cost of doing that used to be kind of great, and now it's decreasing fast. And the way we collaborate with partners is that they have this great product at the core. They have great experts around that and have great software engineers. And that way it's easy to set up kind of these data flows. And that's what really is kind of building on the development speed of the overall system. And for us, of course, the development speed is key as that's going to market quickly and just having those data flows up.
Do you see the same speed there? I just wanted to reflect with that, Thomas. The same speed you see going to the market and the development speed. Do you see the same speed happening in the business models that you have in place to go to market, so to speak?
I think it really depends on the segments, because of course you have the Spotifys and the Googles of the world who are software companies at their core. And I think a lot more companies are going that way. And then you have, of course, the AI trend becoming AI at the core, which is kind of something fancy people say nowadays. But I think one thing we're doing a lot of is teaching our customers how to get to kind of a data-driven decision-making level and getting the deal maturity up to a level that it makes sense for them to take those easy business decisions and change their models to actually be data-driven, because it is necessary. There's not going to be a way around that. And you need to have that kind of automated flow of data throughout all the decision-making processes. And just setting that up, again, used to be super complicated. It's not that complicated, and it's just going to get a lot easier over time.
I have to agree on that. Exactly that. It's a great challenge and responsibility for us working with the data to actually make that understandable, actionable, to feel safe, to use it as a decision-making tool. That is still yet quite a challenge.
And then maybe we need, sorry to interrupt, but more independent also actors, a little bit like Google, sort of a platform, maybe to use as a verification platform for data. Because how could I as a company be sure that my data is correct? I have to verify it with someone else in this branch or something like that. So that's one way to.
There's a very interesting initiative from IBM and MasterCard setting that up. And they focus in on ensuring that the data is anonymized. So they are testing the data set with all the different ways that you can try to de-anonymize it and to ensure that what you get back is really anonymized data to preserve the integrity of each individual.
Very important.
I think one way you're super right there is that when you set up these data flows, usually, I mean, we've been cloud native from day one, of course, and the way you can use those automation tools is that's kind of what's enabling easy data sharing, because you have these kind of scalable platforms set up already, so they scale with you and with your business model, whatever cloud platform you're using. And I mean, for example, when we use our simulation environments for setting up scenarios for autonomous drive, every time we change any code, it scales up a Kubernetes cluster that our partners actually set up, but it's running on our infrastructure. So they're using the automation tool of our cloud provider to scale the testing environment that we're using. So that way we can really collaborate on setting these environments up, and they're enabling our business decisions, and in this case, safety decisions, using their tools in our cloud environment.
Exactly.
But from that perspective, I would say also, like you talked about, Mikael, the platform that you're building right now, it probably needs more initiatives of that